I'm not mistaken. So thanks everyone for being here. We have a really good agenda for today. We actually have we'll have the classic updates from Michael on all departments and projects inside the Star Atlas team. Then we will have an interview with Jacob. Jacob, welcome to the stage, man. How are you doing?
Doing very good. Yeah, that great delivery on that joke, Mike. That landed pretty well, but also pretty obvious at the same time.
Seriously, it pained me to say it. So anyway, hopefully it's well received out there. We know how much Santi's appreciated. But Jacob, man, so great to have you on stage. First time appearing on the town hall. Obviously, a critical member of the co-founding team, chief technology officer, but a friend and practically the stage. You guys out there in the community know that we have two of the Floyd brothers on the team. Danny's the chief product officer. Jacob's his brother, chief technology officer, and we've worked together now for going on 5 years, I guess. They started with me back in our a previous crypto project that we had launched that we're continuing to maintain. That was the Total Storm or Multi-Chain Ventures, as it went on to be known. But man, so good to have you on stage. Welcome.
Yeah, good to be here. It does feel a little bit overdue, but there's just so much to engage with what's going on at Star Atlas that usually I'm like either listening in on the town halls, but a lot of times I'm in meetings with some of the teams. So yeah, good to take this opportunity.
Yeah, man.
It's almost like the engineering department's like really busy.
Something like that. Yeah. Talk about that.
Awesome, man. Well, I think Santi has some questions. We just wanted to do this kind of AMA style, make a little introduction to the community for, as people haven't really had an opportunity to hear direct from you about things like, engineering philosophy and our structure across the development team and, the type of people that we're recruiting there. But again, maybe let me just turn this over to Santi here and, maybe very quickly just say hello to Pablo as well, who's joining us on stage again. And Pablo is the fourth co-founder with us. So Pablo, welcome, man.
Oh, I think we
Might
caught
be.
him off guard. Yeah. Might be multitasking. Yeah.
That's right.
So
Santi,
yeah,
let me turn it over to you, man. The AMA, and I can fill in with some additional questions.
yeah, of course. So want to start with some questions for Jacob? I have
Yeah,
some.
that sounds good. I'm ready.
Yeah. If you're ready, let me finish the agenda. Like what we have after we have the updates after the interview with Jacob. We know that
Might have lost you on voice, Santi.
oh, I think I lost the connection for a second.
We did. But you're
Okay.
back now. We hear you.
Where did I live, man? Where did I live?
You were just talking about community updates and the rest of the agenda.
Okay. Yeah. So after that, we will have uh, Ash and Chip hopefully telling us a little bit about NFTLA, and then the classic Q&A with the community and Michael. So yeah, can you still hear me, Michael? Please tell me.
Yeah, we've got you, man. We got
Yeah.
the agenda. So
Perfect. I don't have the best connection today, so you'll probably lose me one or two times. Just I'm saying sorry beforehand. So
yeah.
Jacob, man, are you ready, bro?
I guess so. Yeah, let's get into it. What questions you got?
Okay, man. Okay, man. Yeah, I know that the community has been waiting for a long time to have you. So, yeah, everyone wants to meet you and see who is the mysterious fourth co-founder of Star Atlas.
Mysterious, yeah, behind the curtains. No, I've been
Yeah, man.
I follow pretty closely. I absolutely love the community. These town halls. Like major props to the comms team for setting these up and doing such a good job. But having everyone show up regularly and just like the enthusiasm behind all the updates, it's really well placed enthusiasm, right? This project is pretty amazing, as you all know, but it's really great to see and good job all around.
Thank you, man. Thank you, man. So and thanks for joining again. So let's start with a little bit of your background, man. What were you doing before Star Atlas? Tell us a little bit.
Uh, I don't really remember life before Star Atlas, to be honest. No. um,
One star Atlas year is like 20 years in real life.
It's true.
yeah, no, it has felt like an eternity. I mean, there's rumors floating around that we got actual aliens on the team building it. So having this mysterious background is probably just going to add fuel to that. So, anyways, yeah, no, I mean, I've been building software for the last 15 years or so. Um, I've been chief engineer on basically every project I've been involved with. But going all the way back, like the iPhone App Store first came online, was right there building apps and games and having a lot of good success there. Um, Around 2012 or so, I started getting to crypto, Bitcoin mining, and wallet software, tinkering with that stuff. It was really neat. I knew something kind of special was going on there, but I think very few people could have predicted where it was going to land. In hindsight, um, especially a few years later, we saw Ethereum kind of come to life, and everyone was like, what's this smart contract thing you speak of? It's really something different, a different beast entirely. We kind of,
Yeah.
I mean, we did see, during the early Bitcoin days, people getting creative with opcodes and whatnot, doing some type of programming on the Bitcoin blockchain. But yeah, when Ethereum really hit the space, it kind of changed everything. It changed the world, and today we're kind of building in the next generation of that stuff, like what Ethereum sparked is all these other protocols um, that sort of optimize that and creating a lot of new possibilities. So and a lot more elegance to the decentralized computing options there. So um, yeah, it's kind of a dream to be at the state we are now, and just looking back in relatively short period of time, just how far we've come. Uh,
Yeah,
but
man. You were here in crypto since the early beginnings, right?
yeah,
And
absolutely.
what year you said?
It was really like 2012. It wasn't really building projects. Again, it was mostly just like tinkering with wallet software and mining. That was just super interesting to me how it worked, and really fun to mess around with that. But no serious projects at that time. I was still doing like indie game development and yeah, some cool mobile apps and whatnot. But um, yeah, some decently sized teams, I guess. Nothing, but mostly small. Again, kind of sitting at the lead engineer for those projects, but um, definitely like came into this new generation really well informed on a lot of the possibilities here. Really familiar with the gaming space and whatnot. So that felt good. Like this, thinking about how Star Atlas is coming together, it's feels like a
Yeah, man.
perfect fit for people like myself. So I love it.
Yeah, man. So thanks for telling us a little bit about your background, and it's great to hear that you have been around for ages. And yeah, so everyone wants to know what is your current role at Star Atlas, and how does the day to day for you look like?
Um, so I'm currently CTO, and day to day, I mean, well, so we have a lot of simultaneous projects going on, and it's hard to go deep into a lot of them. What I end up doing, I feel like more of a preacher than an engineer nowadays, basically hopping around to all these different teams that we've built to tackle certain projects that we have lined up, and preaching, vision of Star Atlas and kind of getting them to understand the goals and objectives here. A lot of it is, as chief engineer, you're kind of signing off on a lot of tech solutions, uh, and a lot of business side too, like signing papers, not just tech solutions,
Yeah.
but like doing a lot of corporate development. Anyone that has experience scaling up a team, especially where we were, just 4 guys kicking this off, and just over a year later, we have 170, 200 almost. That scaling doesn't just happen automatically, right? It's not just
Yeah.
getting people involved. There's a lot of what I call corporate development, or figuring out um, how something can scale not just to 200, but 2,000 and beyond. And there's a lot of thought that goes into that. A lot of overlap with the type of kind of engineering problem solving that goes in. You need to really have elegant systems in place, communication pipelines, um, the reporting, direct reports, trying to optimize that. And yeah, at Star Atlas, we also try to like minimize the amount of time that people are being dragged into meetings and being prodded for information. We like our builders to be able to get the right focus, think about what they're trying to do, and execute on that really nicely. So yeah, a lot of that business side is coming into my role as we grow, but still very involved in thinking about the tech solutions that are being passed around and being built and
Yeah. You're
prototype.
still in the trenches. You're still in the trenches.
Yeah. I see in the near future maybe actually writing some more code. That feels good.
Okay, yeah. And the scaling part, that's insane. Like the how Star Atlas grew over the past like year, it's just crazy. And I can imagine that it was the same for every single department, but it's great to see how much talent we have here in the Star Atlas team, and all the talented people that are coming to help us build this dream, right? At least in the RevOps department where I work at in Star Atlas, we were 3 people last year, and now we are like 18 or 19 people. So I can imagine that I can see that the same happened to the engineering side, and it's great to have such a big talent in the company. And yeah, big shout out to Steve and Kelsey and the HR team as well.
Oh yeah, not just people. These are like some of the most brilliant people in the world, and it's been amazing to work with them over the years, over the year.
Yeah, yeah, definitely, man, definitely. So before we move to the next question, I just want to be very clear that we will cover all the updates and everything. Don't worry. This is just the very beginning of the interview with Jacob. Everyone has been asking for Jacob to come to stage, so we finally got him. So we'll ask him a few questions, and then we'll move to the updates. So moving to the next question, what inspired you to create Star Atlas, Jacob? Why take on such a big challenge?
um, there is um, an absolutely huge amount of inspiration out there, especially in the gaming space. You have like Star Citizen, Stellaris, X4. Um, these are amazing people building awesome ideas. So it's really easy to get inspired on the gaming front. Um, and then, taking on like such a big challenge. It's interesting. It's kind of like what's happening is these possibilities are being enabled. If we weren't kind of doing this, someone else would. I'm really happy to take it on. But it's like this type of project is now possible, and the timing is phenomenal. When we broke ground on this, you know, uh, it was UE5 was still kind of in closed development. It wasn't until that summer that we got our hands on the alpha. But Solana
Yeah,
was pretty far. Solana was pretty far along, and and we saw what was going on there. Absolutely loved how that ecosystem was growing, and it's hard to ignore at that point. It's like, okay, we got to build something there. Um, so yeah, a lot of it is standing on the shoulders of giants at the correct moment, and it was just everything was falling into place and just clicking. Um, that it made a lot of sense to go into this.
Yeah,
Um,
man.
yeah, yeah, pretty phenomenal timing. It was just again too hard to ignore, um, which is why we were happy to take it on.
Yeah, I actually love also the Solana, the decision of building in Solana. And I remember like when we tested the first product into market, that it was the Discovery of Iris poster. Solana was like really early. I remember that we had to use, for example, Solid Wallet. Phantom Wallet didn't even exist yet. It was so yeah, we started quite early. Michael, you wanted to say something?
No, I just wanted to say, Jay, you missed, I think, the best part, man. It's just that we get to have fun solving problems every single day. And I know, we do talk about that a lot at the leadership level. And, as much stress and as challenging as it may be, I know I can't imagine myself doing anything else. Absolutely love being in the position that we're in. And there's enormous opportunity here. But Jacob, I'm sure you would echo that sentiment.
Yeah, and even dovetail a bit. We have this situation, kind of a transition that's going on. What we've seen in the crypto space is a lot of fintech type of applications are being built for good reason. All these DeFi protocols are awesome and really great to work with, and they need to be there. But at that application layer, there's a lot of desire to optimize these programs for fun and entertainment purposes. And gaming is one of those that we're seeing. So that just goes perfectly in line with what Star Atlas is doing. Is like, okay, we really want to start having fun with decentralized computing, and that's exactly that somewhat summarizes a good reason to take on that challenge. But again, when you're building something for entertainment, there's just a lot of fun to be had. So it's kind of that hobby and work all mashed together.
Yeah, man. I love it. I love it. So I have two more questions for you, man. So first of all, like, what is the biggest challenge, I would say, that you see, or that you saw from being like a startup of four people, like the four co-founders, until now that we have like 200 more people?
Um, well, it was probably the scaling was kind of the largest difficulty when we were in the very early days of this, where we were in the ideation phase in 2020. It was um, a lot of that core vision really came together just smoothly. Again, everything was clicking, and it was one of those things where you're thinking about ways to build this, and something great is going to come out of these types of ideas.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, it was really sticky in that regard. So um, that core vision stayed intact, and it was really kind of easy to make decisions along the way. But yeah, the difficulty, because we were moving at light speed, I should say warp speed, but it was that scaling aspect, right? We were bringing in a lot of people. We were having really successful product releases in the early days. It's really not common for startups to kind of perform this way, where you go from initiation to post revenue in just a few months.
Yeah.
And so with that type of success, it wouldn't be very smart to not try to scale up and just get a ton of resources uh, and that type of thing. So because we were having such rapid success, it came with rapid desire to scale. And yeah, this involved, me again in the early days. I'm like, it was me and two other guys that were coding everything. We were refactoring some of that Serum code to get the trading online in our front end, um, and yeah, we built everything. And then when we started to bring more people in and start forming smaller teams, slowly transitioning away from just being hands-on builder to starting to again deal with all the challenges of bringing in all these resources as fast as we can, and not really skip a beat. So that was tough, but we did it, and and we're still doing it. It feels
Yeah, man.
awesome the
Yeah.
way that the
And
team is
again,
chugging.
big shout out to Kelsey, Steven, and the
Yeah.
I think Santi's internet is
oh,
it's cutting in and out there. Oh, he's yeah, we lost him. We lost him. Um,
Santi
Jay,
just takes over.
that's right, man. Um, so I know how busy you are, man. I know you've got another call to hop on shortly here. Maybe just one final question to kind of round this out. Santi, welcome back. I think you're back now, but
yeah,
I
yeah.
think if you could just share with the community, maybe what excites you most about the future, and I maybe want you to touch a little bit about touch on composability, extensibility, because I'm going to address that later in the town hall today. But what does excite you most about the future of Star Atlas and the potential for us ahead?
Next question. No, that's hard to choose, actually. Especially thinking about kind of what's coming up. I don't want to reveal anything I'm not supposed to. We kind of leave those unintentional leaks to you, Mike. But
They call me the leak master.
but yeah, no, it's got to be one of the most valuable and exciting things. Is what this new paradigm of a permissionless backend for an MMO game, like what that brings. That's some really interesting possibilities there. Because we're doing some at Star Atlas, we're building all these on-chain game systems that basically operate the entire game economy through on-chain programs. All the logic, everything resolves there, everything executes there at the blockchain layer. I know this has been echoed a number of times, but it's really a deep point that's hard to fully wrap your head around, especially because it's so new. Like there's not guidance on how to do this stuff. It really hasn't been done heavily before. So it's really exciting. Again, very, very valuable. So what we essentially build the core behaviors into these game systems, and then you have economic incentives in those game systems. You end up in a situation where people in the community will just come in and they'll build really interesting, creative integrations and extensions around those core game systems, kind of like something simple like ship rental services. But we're probably going to see really elaborate type of systems that come online, things that deal with insurance of your destructible assets, or even things like a FedEx of Star Atlas, where they have an entire cargo transporting service that's tightly integrated. They have like tracking numbers on orders, a fleet of cargo freighters. So much overlap that you would see with a real, logistics company like FedEx. And the most interesting part is this can be built around the core ecosystem of Star Atlas without the need to collaborate with us directly whatsoever. It's entirely permissionless. Every function, all the user accounts, the entire state of the ecosystem can be derived right from that blockchain layer. So that kind of touches on the point of what Mike was getting at with the extensibility. But I mean, that type of building is just not possible in the traditional game MMO paradigm. So that's been a very interesting, thread that we've seen throughout what we're doing here at Star Atlas, and we're already seeing hints of it. We don't have we only have a handful of features there on running on the blockchain, but a lot is in progress right now, prototyping and building all this stuff. As we bring more features to the ecosystem online on the blockchain, it's just going to naturally continue in that direction where we just see some really creative ideas built around that core ecosystem. That's really exciting and extremely valuable.
It is, man. It is. Thanks for sharing, man. And yeah,
Yeah,
we'll let you go to the call that you have, man. We know that you're a busy man, so thank you very much for joining us today and for letting the community know you a little bit better.
cool. Yeah, no, right on the dot at 1:30.
Perfect.
Really appreciate you jumping on, Jacob. Great to hear from you, and so glad we were able to debut you publicly to the community. It's great having you on.
Thank you guys. Feel good. It feels good. Talk soon.
Take
See you,
care, Jake.
Jacob. So Michael, Jacob, just like in the last thing that he said, he touched on a point that we wanted to cover in this town hall. So if you want, we can move to that and the updates if you want. What do you think?
Yeah. Well, let's do this. I think that's a good idea. Because see out there in the community, we're scrambling a bit today because of the joke we played on you. So we're going to be kind of dynamic here, and we'll restructure the agenda a little bit. I think you're right. It is a nice segue into the next topic. And what I really like to do here is just recognize some of the contribution and development that's taking place in the community. Many of you, I think, do attend the Atlas Brew, and that's hosted by Santi and Jose. And on the most recent one, you guys ran through and did an update from all of the teams out there that are building applications that are really like integrated within what we're doing at Star Atlas, whether it's representing some of our assets or in some cases actually interacting with our on-chain programs. This is exactly what Jacob was describing with composability and the benefit and the value that underlies building our game logic and our economy logic on the blockchain, right? You can interact with this in a permissionless fashion, with or without collaboration with us or without us, approving it. You have the ability to do that. So maybe starting with what I'd like to start with is the club. There's many teams out there that are like bringing in data aggregation and presenting information related to, say, the ship assets and current pricing and the ROI, earnings potential, better understanding the kind of the economic elements of it, the inputs, the resource requirements. But recently, and actually, I guess I should read this disclaimer here. It is important for us to note that these are all non-audited projects by Star Atlas. We do want to bring attention to them. We want to bring visibility to these projects, but absolutely use them at your own risk, particularly if it is any application that requires you to connect your wallet, right? So we're not necessarily endorsing these, but we do want to highlight these. And so the club recently built the Score Pit Stop tool, which is an enhancement on the way that you manage resources within Score today. It allows you in a single click to purchase all of the resources necessary, to look at, to kind of schedule out timings of how long you want those ships to be stocked with resources, and then restock all of your ships across your fleet, all with a single click. And it's a super cool tool. So congrats to those guys, and thank you guys for developing that. And I'm sure you're going to be bringing continuous enhancements in the future. But this is only possible because we're building our project on blockchain, right? And we'll see more and more of this going into the future. And this idea of composability, the idea of additional game features, game enhancements, other tools, other projects that are building around our assets, it benefits everybody that's on the call here and that's within our community and within our ecosystem. It drives utility to things like the tokens. It drives utility to the NFTs, but probably more importantly, it empowers these innovators, these entrepreneurs, to create their own projects with their own economics. Now, none of the ones that we're listing here have any embedded economics or commercialization. The Pit Stop tool gives you the option of providing a tip, and I think that's a really cool thing, right? So they're not enforcing that you actually pay a fee, but I'd like you to use your imagination and consider what you could build that would allow you to capture some revenue stream for yourself by innovating around the existing momentum and community that we've built here at Star Atlas, which is really the most powerful kind of asset that we have as a collective of people. And so, this is just the beginning, what you're seeing now, but I think it's fantastic. It gives something to entertain themselves with and participate in while we undertake this long road that's ahead of us at Star Atlas of building this fully immersive, virtual economy, metaverse, and AAA game going into the future. And so, again, I love it. I wanted to highlight the score there, but there's many others that are building some games. Jet Racer. This is developed by Heimdall Industries. It's an Opal Jet Racing arcade game. We've got Tufa Attack. That looked really fun. I do want to note here, I did watch the replay of the Atlas Brew, and I can't tell you how inspired I was just seeing that, encouraged I was, and really excited about it. But Tufa Attack, super cool. This was developed by Rado Doom. I hope I'm saying that right. Apologize. I'm not as closely connected to everybody as I'd love to be, but and Sprite Von Pixel. These are both community members, and this is an arcade game. Santi, was there anything you wanted to add just on that before I move on?
Yeah, sure. Just that if you want to see everything that we are mentioning today, we mentioned everything in the last Atlas Brew. I will be sending the link now to the town hall chat. If you want to check it out after the town hall, you will see everything in the brew. We didn't get all the projects in the Atlas Brew, but you will see most of them. So, and we probably won't be able to cover every single one here today, but yeah, I mean, go and check it out.
Yeah, and I, as always, want to ensure we save some time here. I think we can take some extra time at the end, actually available after the town hall today, so we can take maybe an extra 10 minutes or 15 minutes or so to ensure that we can get the questions in. But one of the comments that was made on Tufa Attack was this idea of, it's a very much an arcade style, like a kind of traditional arcade machine style game. And I think somebody made the comment that it'd be cool if on your ship, like while you're flying around, you could occupy your time by playing Tufa Attack. And this will be the same with player habitats when we release those in the future. Your residences on central space stations and on planets, not only will you have all of your posters on display and any art that you've collected and probably interoperable NFT collectibles that you have in your wallet, but yeah, it'd be awesome to set up an arcade station where you can kind of play and maybe even compete against some friends while you're hanging out in the metaverse. So thought that was a great idea. The Flappy Thimble Lobby. It's a Lobby version of Flappy Bird. This is under development by ODVB, also a community member. Many thanks to you for your development on that and your activity within the community. Coex, really cool Star Atlas tutorial game. Built in Unreal Engine 4 right now, but as I understand, that's being refactored in UE5 as well. And it's a cool tutorial map that you can walk through and get information about various aspects of Star Atlas. And I especially liked the Easter egg little hidden wall that you could run through. That was fun. So in addition to that, again, just thinking about some of the aggregated data resources that are out there. AFIA has their ships page. The club has an explorer. Red Spatula, really amazing work on that site. Where you can, with the most recent update, you can get a lot of data on your fleets just by pasting a public address. And again, I mean, this is kind of blockchain. What's cool about it is it's open, transparent, public ledger. So even if it's not your asset, you can check out the assets of somebody else's wallets, maybe from the leaderboard, which is pretty neat. So there's a fleet management tool by the Star Atlas Italy Guild. There's ship markets by Heimdall Industries. There's ship markets by Skull and Bones, and Fleet Pass by Deep Profits. So as Santi said, we'll be sharing links to all of this if we haven't already, but I'm sure you can find information about these. They're great resources. And then just to kind of wrap up here, some additional data about Star Atlas is the Star Atlas Space Froggies. This is in French. The Star Atlas Wiki, also by AFIA. Star Atlas Guilds by staratlasguilds.com. And Star Atlas Guilds Research by the Alessio family. And a lot of translation resources coming online. And Santi, I know you guys on the community management team, which has grown substantially itself, are also looking at additional resources within Discord and publicly for translations. We understand very well that we have a global community here. And we actually analyze pretty substantially the demographics of the people that are participating in this ecosystem, and where they come from and where they live. And the purpose of that statement of power to the people is that we believe we can create a movement here and an environment that's inclusive to everybody, and we get to design the system from scratch, and we think that's very powerful. So we want to ensure that everybody's able to actively communicate with us, and we're able to actively communicate back.
Yeah, man. So yeah, on that note, we are changing the way we manage communities here in Discord. We will be posting announcements and everything soon, but we will probably need some ambassadors to translate announcements and everything and help us moderate. So just feel free to reach out to us, and if you want to offer your help, we will need it. And also, before we move from this topic, like, we know that we probably missed a lot of great things that the community has built, but just bear with us. We are kind of against the clock now, and we can't just cover everything. We know that there are a lot of people building great tools for the Star Atlas community and great projects and helping translate and everything. We will try to cover everything, but we are against the clock today. So yeah, I just want to say that we really appreciate everyone's efforts and things that you guys do for the Star Atlas community. And if you ever need help, reach out to us. You can always reach out to us. You can always reach out to me. You can reach out to our great team of moderators like Suhail, Diego, Dominic, Stick, Hossein. We have a great team, and we are willing to help you if you want to develop something for Star Atlas and you need a little bit of help with resources and connections and anything. Just reach out to us. Don't hesitate. Don't be shy. We are here to help you, and we are here to help you find your place in Star Atlas. So yeah, again, just reach out.
Thanks for that, Santi. So I will get into some updates here, but I think we'd love to hear from Ash just on kind of the metaverse updates and crypto updates, and we'd love to hear a little bit about NFT LA.
Sorry, my voice. Yeah, yeah, I can absolutely do that. I think we're a little pressed for time, right, Santi? Do you want me to cover the news, or do you just want an NFT LA update quickly?
Yeah, maybe we can do NFT LA so we can move. So we can be respectful of everyone's time, and maybe we can cover the news on the after party if you want.
Of course, absolutely. Yeah, so the Star Atlas team attended NFT LA this past week, which was a really awesome event. We sponsored an event there as well called the Wisdom Art Park, and we had shared some videos and pictures of that on our Twitter. But essentially, we sponsored an event with Pink Floyd, and they had these incredible immersive 360-degree projections on this giant dome, and it was a really cool experience. We got to meet some Star Atlas community members in real life, and that was also incredible. Shout out to Empress Peach. She actually brought me some baby aliens. She smuggled them into the event for me. So, and a baby Newt as well. I don't know where Jose is, but we got one for you. So that was really cool. Chip actually, he spoke on a panel and did an incredible job. As we all know, Chip is a huge asset to the Star Atlas team, and hearing him speak about the metaverse and just the future plans and the way he envisions things was really, really awesome. He rocked it, definitely. And overall, it was just a really great experience to get out there, finally meet some of our team members in real life, get our name out there. There's a lot of people that are really excited about our project, and so that was also a really cool thing to see.
That's great, Ash. Thank you for sharing. So yeah, great news. I love that we are attending live events and that we can actually get to meet the community. That must be like a crazy feeling because we have been speaking with you guys like here in Discord and Twitter and everywhere for months. So yeah, I can't wait to start meeting you all. Michael, you
Yeah,
wanted to add something?
Kind of on that note too, we do have some activations going on in Miami. It's quite a vibrant community down here, both in crypto and in technology, and obviously a great backdrop. But Solana Miami is coming up. Solana has been doing a fantastic job growing their own ecosystem with Hacker House hackathons and putting together conferences. And so we'll be active at Solana Miami next week. Bitcoin Miami is going on down here. We'll be spending some time in the Bahamas soon at the SALT conference, which is FTX sponsored. Formula One, which is coming to Miami 6th through the 8th. We'll be active there. So if any of you are out in this area, feel free to drop us a line. We'd love to connect with you while we're out and about here as well.
Yeah. And actually, just changing topics a little bit, Jose just posted a great announcement. The Atlas Star is back. The Star Atlas newsletter, the Atlas Star is back. And Jose has been working really hard on it. So if you go to announcements now, you will find the link and you can open the tab to read it after the town hall. So just go to announcements, give our man Jose some love. He has been working really hard since he joined the Star Atlas team, and it feels like he has been here for a lifetime, man. So yeah, big shout out to Jose. It's great to have the Atlas Star back, and yeah, you can find it on announcements now. So
Yeah.
Can I just add to that too? We'll also be dropping it on Twitter very shortly for the rest of the community to see as well.
yep.
Yeah, awesome. He's been a fantastic addition. So 2 things coming out today, kind of aggregated within the Atlas Star. But so the Atlas Star is coming out. If it hasn't been released, I think it's going to be released right after the town hall. Within that, you'll get the roadmap report. And I guess to touch on the roadmap itself is, it's been a while since we've done a town hall. We've kind of restructured the way that we're going to structure the communications with the community. We have decided to schedule the town hall following our development sprint completions. These are 3-week periods where each of the teams focused on a specific project, dedicate their energy to a specific part of that process that we've outlined in the roadmap, and the development team presents to almost on a company-wide basis all of the progression that's been made over that 3-week period. And so what we've done is rescheduled town halls to be the week following that, so that we have time. I have time specifically to absorb that information and then be able to share that with you all on the subsequent town hall. So that's the reason why we've been about 4 weeks now instead of 2 weeks, to be more closely aligned with that. But on the I just kind of want to touch, before I go into some of the updates, more on the HR side, since we're discussing that. And again, as
Michael,
you all know, yes,
would you let me interrupt you for a second?
of course.
Because we have something cool for the community now. I know that everyone has been hearing for nearly 50 minutes, and we actually have one question for you guys. Oh man, yeah, this is cool. So we have a question with the prize for you guys. One of our moderators, I won't say the name so you don't search him on the search bar, is going to post a surprise question about Star Atlas in a channel right now. You need to find it on Discord, and the first person to answer correctly without typos gets a Fimul Air bike. So go and find it. Now, Michael, I will let you move forward with the updates.
Oh man, nobody's going to be paying attention to the updates now. Let me get into HR, and to give a shout out to team members again. I'm super appreciative of all of the effort and commitment that our team makes. Kelsey and Steven on the HR side, as well as many other people who are working with us on operations within HR, have been doing a fantastic job at securing some amazing talent for us. Over the month of March, we've added 13 new employees. We've got a senior associate on business development, a senior associate on growth. We have a new game systems designer, a new blockchain analyst, a senior game analyst, an environmental technical artist, a digital communications manager, a UE game developer, a Rust blockchain developer, a software developer, a director of economy, and a content director. Welcome everyone to the team. If you're listening in and you're one of those people that recently joined us, again, welcome. I hope you feel appreciated and you're as excited to be here as we are to have you on the team. specifically on my side, thinking about the economy, we understand the importance of that. So I'm very excited to say that we have a couple of great people that just joined. It's a team that we continue to build out, and not only does that consist of economists and analysts and data scientists, they're working closely with our business intelligence unit, which is a lot of the similar roles. But, for us, what we want to be able to do is not only design the best game, the most fun game, ensure that we have the sustainable functional economy in the long term within the game, but then more broadly, again, thinking about the impact of the metaverse and this virtual environment that we're building that in so many ways encapsulates and displaces or disrupts industry all over the world. This really inclusive new kind of nation state that we're building here at Star Atlas. So I'm excited to get some support on that side and have our teams, all of those departments, whether it be game design, game economics, business intelligence, and communications, all working together to produce information that we can utilize internally to ensure we bring the best product to you, but also to start delivering to you information about the general state of the economy. So all exciting stuff, but some great hires. Santi, as I mentioned, within the Atlas Star, we have this new updated, over the last couple of weeks on some feedback from you all about kind of the extent of information that was available in the roadmap report. We went to the drawing board and very quickly turned around a new format for getting this information out to you, where we give you a summary of all of the projects that we're working on, the status of those projects, what stage of development they're in. But what's really awesome is the work that Mate and Jose put in on structuring that into a lore-based content and story that you can consume. So again, trying to cater to everyone's particular style of consuming information. We want it to be fun, right? A lot of this is technical. I won't say it's boring. It's important stuff to you, but sometimes getting the bulleted list of progressing on a certain piece of software to another just isn't that exciting. And so we've crafted it now into this storyline, and you can follow along with the story of Automata Industries and what's happening inside the universe of Star Atlas, and get those updates as well. What I was thinking, Santi, since we are pushing on time, and because the Atlas Star contains the roadmap report with a lot of information in it already about where we're at with each of those specific projects, I thought maybe we would just stop here and open it up for Q&A.
Yeah, okay. So for the news, we can redirect you guys to the Atlas Star. Everything we will basically, you can read everything, all the news in there. If you want, Mike, we can cover like the policy staking that I know that people are super, they want to know. We can cover it live, the latest updates, and then move forward to Q&A if you want. Like it will be the same as reading from the newsletter, but just if you want, man.
Yeah, of course. I mean, it's so the Polis DAO, the Star Atlas DAO, and we're talking about the universal DAO right now. This is kind of highest level governance of the ecosystem itself. That is the immediate priority now. What we're working on is delivering the feature set that enables governance, that enables the staking of tokens, participation in the economic components of staking, but then also, and most importantly, really being able to have a say in the progress of Star Atlas going into the future, into development, into feature integrations, feature developments, and even things like the treasury management. So for anyone who's not aware, the DAO treasury is technically already up and running. Score itself has this component of resource management to it. All of the Atlas that's currently spent to purchase resources is captured by the DAO. We've bifurcated the economics of Automata, the company that is the lead developer on Star Atlas, that's us, and the economy of the metaverse itself. And any activity that takes place inside the metaverse economy is governed, managed, and collected by the DAO itself. So all of those earnings from Score are currently flowing into a treasury, and then the community, the governors, the people that are holding Polis and staking Polis will have the ability to determine how those resources are allocated. And I've kind of enumerated those a number of times, so I won't go into detail, but it means that You guys can decide if you want to run a community campaign, a growth campaign, if you want to engage with another team, a third party, to build a specific feature, or I think what would be a great utilization of that would be to create a pool of assets that could be used to compensate or reward people that are building third-party applications. So thinking through some of the games that we listed and features like the club's pit stop, right? Like we can set pools up that incentivize people to build additional features on top of Star Atlas. And as much energy and effort as we put into this and as quickly as we're growing, we know that that is insignificant relative to the exponential potential that we would have as a company when we can empower a global workforce to develop this collectively. And so that's what the DAO is going to be, the universal DAO is going to be centered on. It's our highest priority project that we're focused on right now. But as we've mentioned many times, we envision and imagine an enormous amount of value will be stored there. So making sure that we get the security right on this is of the utmost importance. All of that being said, we've made great progress with development. We're finalizing all of the wireframe, UX, UI designs and handing that off for integration with Solana and with web dev teams. We've got a new rewarding program that we developed and designed from scratch. And we're anticipating that to be finalized in this next development sprint. The front end is now building out, the web dev team is building out all of the component libraries. And so, there's still a bit to come on this. I want to emphasize we understand just how much you guys want to see it. We want to get it out just as much, and it is the highest priority project that we're working on. Again, no definitive timelines on it, but we're working diligently on ensuring that we deliver that to you soon.
Cool, man. Thanks for covering that. So yeah, if you want to see all the updates, it's all in the Atlas Star newsletter. You can go to announcement and you will find everything there. You click the link and give a read to the Atlas Star. So if you want, Michael, we can start letting people into stage to ask some questions. We can stay a few minutes late. So raise your hand if you have some questions for Michael. And in the meantime, while we get someone into stage, someone from our moderator team is going to post another question in another random channel. So go and find it now and win a Fimulary bike.
Awesome. Yeah, happy to stay a few minutes over, and just given kind of the extensiveness of the discussion today, I want to ensure we get some Q&A in here.
Perfect. So I made it Riddick. Riddick, welcome to the stage, man. How are you doing? Oops.
Oh, I might be pushed to talk.
Okay. Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Yeah.
Welcome,
No,
man.
that's all good. Hey, thanks. Yeah. Yeah, great meeting today, and it was nice to meet. I don't know his name, but him earlier, and yeah, it's pretty awesome. I guess I'll make it quick. My question to you is: will we see any updates from Spearsoft with regarding to the content that they're doing, or any progression on that end, or no?
Not directly through them. We manage all of the communications related to Star Atlas. With you, even the reveals that we've shared recently, it would be the preference of Spearsoft that we didn't share that at this stage. I was on a call with Danny earlier today. Well, really, all of the co-founders are leadership and management within the company, and we talked about the sharing of the showroom trailer, that 2-minute teaser. That was actually just Danny running around in the showroom itself. But he made a comment about and I've kind of alluded to this in the past, how play teams will not release anything until they feel that it's in a fully polished state. We're kind of bringing along with the process, but his exact words were that it's really the final 10% of art that makes it beautiful, right? And so everything leading up to that, as much work as it takes, that foundation that's being built, it can leave a negative impression because people will think it looks like amateur hour, but the reality is 90% of the work doesn't necessarily get you 90% of the way on the art side. It's kind of building that foundation, and it's the final 10%, that polish. that makes something amazing and makes something AAA quality. And so again, we're bringing you along on the journey. You're seeing the full kind of backstage access of what we're building. And I guess just to make kind of an analogy here, what we're building is, essentially a Formula One car where precision and every single detail is of critical importance. It's one thing to kind of go out there, hobbyist, and modify a for fun. It's something else when you're trying to develop to the standards that we are. And so, with respect to Sparasoft, it would be their preference that we don't share all of this backstage information with you guys, but we feel that you're part of the journey. And so I would not anticipate any information coming directly from them. We do drive the communication strategy behind all of this, but we want you to be included in the process and kind of enjoy the ride.
Yeah, 100% agree. Yeah, no, sorry, I should have worded that a bit better. I figured that you yourself would be kind of sharing the details. We wouldn't hear directly from them, but yeah, like I don't think anybody really expects to share, and I wouldn't personally want anything except for like you say, polished product, because I think that that's happened in the past where projects have hyped it up, and then they release something that's unfinished, and people just pick them apart. And I think that you guys have given us quite a bit already, and yeah, I guess my question was just how the progress was going on their side of things. If you guys were gonna touch on that at all in the updates, but yeah, perfect. You answered the question, so thanks.
Well, what I will share, two things. First and foremost, we've essentially have an uncapped budget in working with them, and they've scaled their own team. And I want to make sure I point out here that the team that they have that's working on Star Atlas is 100% dedicated to the projects and project roadmaps that we've laid out for them. They've scaled their team 2x just to handle current workflow from us. They will continue to scale, but in addition to that, we're also, not only are we building our own internal game design team and the things like the technical director, right? We're building up all of our own competencies internally, but we're also looking at rapidly deploying capital to bring on additional third-party studios that can help us build, right? Because we've got so many different features that we want to build, and we can kind of segment those into various experiences, and we can have separate teams building all of them concurrently. And at some point in time, this progress will catch up, and a lot more will be released a lot faster, and we're very excited for that. But again, it's there's a lot of planning that needs to take place here. So they've been progressing really well. The second point I just wanted to make was, with respect to the showroom, that's what they're focused on now. They'll be moving into the next phase of development, which is called Project Rose Garden, following the completion of a showroom or Volant Studio. Rose Garden is where you'll see the first centralized space station with player habitats, with commercial centers, of course, multiplayer enabled. I don't know if I'm sharing too much here, but being able to ride around on some extra small bikes or ships around the space station to travel. But we also see, when showroom, when Rose Garden kind of gets towards completion, being able to see experience centers. So having things like concerts and art galleries and museums and things where people can socialize, we'll see those roll out as well. So showroom itself, though, is making tremendous progress. It's actually coming out faster than we thought it would initially. So happy to report on the progress there. Our UX is completely locked in. We're integrating the first pass of the UI mockups. We're starting work on the screen. So these are kind of interface components of how you interact with the showroom. All of the art now has moved into the alpha phase, and we're prototyping on things like VFX and core interactions of that level or of that map. Gameplay is coming along quite well as well. And final point on this is just on blockchain. I won't formally announce it, but we're building internally a software development kit, an SDK that integrates Solana with Unreal Engine. This doesn't exist, right? But you're going to be able to interact with your crypto assets and wallet Unreal Engine as a result of this. This is eventually tooling that we will provide to other builders out there, other game developers, open access to, so they can build their own experiences again that would be in some way associated with Star Atlas, maybe even utilizing Star Atlas NFTs, but a separate environment and a separate experience entirely. So all very exciting stuff coming with the showroom.
Wow, that's unbelievable. That's more than I thought I would get out of that, and I'm sure everybody else is probably ecstatic as much as I am, and I'm sure the product is going to be unreal. So I'm excited. That's awesome.
Pun intended or not?
Definitely.
Thanks, Riddick. Appreciate the question.
Thanks. See ya.
Yeah, thank you, Riddick, and congrats for starting your Star Atlas channel, man.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, it's I'm working on it. But yeah.
Great, man, great.
Congrats
So
on that. For sure.
yeah, we also have Dowcaster here on stage. Dowcaster, man, how are you doing today?
Oh, dang it. I always forget my push to talk button, Guarded.
Yeah,
Guarded
it
has me
happens. It
so
happens.
gosh. Okay. Hey everyone, how's it going?
All good, man, and you?
Really good. First, just to respond to what Michael just said, that SDK is going to be insane. I mean, it's going to just lay the groundwork for all future games on Solana. So great job. That's super exciting. I did want to focus my question around these two kind of lore drops that you guys did. The surveyor report from the Ooster CEO's office with Cadet Wen, and then this more recent one with Lieutenant Wen, who got into a bit of a hairy situation. These are so cool. I mean, for someone who is I'm a casual gamer, and the development of the game is really obviously of utmost importance. The story is kind of what makes me the most excited. And so my question is, these stories that you're telling us with Lieutenant Wen and Mr. Oh gosh, Spugols. Gosh, I gotta ask you guys for pronunciations, but these, the henchmen, the Jorvik pirates, all this cool stuff, the shadow agent. Are these characters that are for lack of better terms, like canonized? Like, is there a chance that we'll run into them into the game, or are they part of the history and the lore of the universe? Like, where do these stories live? Yeah, that's my question. Also, thanks for bringing me.
Thanks for the great question. I'll be honest, this is one of those areas where it'd really be great to get some input from Danny, or even Jose or Matei, who are crafting those. And again, the purpose there is exactly like you said. We want this to be enjoyable content to consume. It kind of allows you to participate in the development process in a different format. There's the technical updates, kind of the bulleted updates, but I personally love reading them as well. And sometimes I read them for the first time when you guys are reading them, right? So in terms of being included in permanent lore, I would anticipate the answer to be yes. I can't say that with certainty right now. We do have a fantastic content team, and we've been bringing on a lot of writers. Matt Medney's one of those guys. He's also the owner of Heavy Metal, which has a legacy background in sci-fi. And these are guys that are working on the story, the lore, that will continue to captivate your interest going into the future. So it would kind of be on them to determine if this is something that fits within that canon. I can't say certainly, but I would imagine that there's going to be a fairly long life cycle with these characters.
Awesome. Well, I can say that we're all here for it. We're all excited for it. And since I have you, Michael, I just wanted to say I think I speak for everyone in this audience. I think when I say that we hear you and we appreciate the message from that first surveyor report when the CEO of Automata said there's no such convenient way to create a world. Every single dead end is a victory for the company because it eliminates a false road towards our dream. We love the progress, and we know that what the team is doing is impossible and never been done. So we're here for the whole journey. Just thanks for making such an awesome game.
That really means a lot to me. I appreciate you saying that. And yeah, I mean, it's, we're here for you guys. It's obviously a lot of obstacles, a lot of challenges, and a lot of problems that have never been solved before. I think Jacob made that point earlier as well, but we're happy to be the ones doing it. I can't imagine myself doing anything else. So it's exciting for us. Certainly there's stress, but solving a problem is very rewarding psychologically, and we get to do that every day. So it's fun, but I sincerely appreciate that comment.
You got it. Thanks for having me, guys, and have a good rest of your day.
You too. Thanks, Dalcaster. Santi, let's take one more, man.
Okay, perfect. I was going to ask you that. I just invited someone into stage. 1024 stars. Hello, friend. How are you doing?
That's a lot of stars.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Hi, great to be here.
Welcome to the stage.
Good to have
Great project, wonderful stuff, amazing potential. And I'd just love to hear a little bit about how you plan to decentralize going into the long future.
Yeah, great question. I mean, there's quite a few ways. Let me just start by recapping again part of what's happening right now. We're already seeing decentralization. All of these contributions to the Star Atlas ecosystem from third-party developers, from DAX, from the guilds out there, people that are building tools that analyze data associated with Star Atlas, and emphasizing again the importance and a core differentiator of what we're doing at Star Atlas versus a lot of projects that are and I don't want to diminish this, but claiming to be blockchain games, we really kind of identify this and separate this across three different styles of, call it blockchain gaming. And the first of which is to build all of the game logic traditionally in a game engine and then incorporate something like NFTs as an asset class. That's kind of the first step into blockchain gaming. It's also the easiest way of doing it. The next step would then be to integrate things like digital currencies into the underlying economy and having those drive the economy. That adds, in its own right, adds a fairly significant degree of complexity because now you're dealing with things like foreign exchange, right? Because digital currencies in their nature now are exposed entirely to this alternative financial ecosystem that exists out there that is crypto. So, things like people speculating on tokens and people utilizing them in protocols like DeFi, that actually directly impacts in some way the way that we need to design the game economy. So naturally, we're doing that with Atlas and with Polis, and I'll get a little bit more into Polis, but then there's what we're doing, which is actually taking logic from the game, pulling that out of the game engine and building that and delivering that on the blockchain. And it's incredibly complex. It's never been done before. But the benefit that we get is now that everybody in the world has a way to interact with that. And again, I mentioned them quite a few times here. But I think it's a really cool tool, the Club's Pit Stop. Again, use at your own risk, but something like that, right? Now, they built their program, their smart contract, to interact with our smart contract. We didn't even know that was coming. That was something they did on their own. And this is the nature of permissionless, censorship-resistant systems. And that's what we're building Star Atlas to be. And that's what we're building the Metaverse to be. That's why, we're calling this the open, decentralized virtual economy and Metaverse. And it's true because we're building products in the way that we're building them. So that's kind of one step, thinking about the engineering foundation that's built and style that we build this will significantly contribute to the ability to decentralize over time. And then the second part of this is, the direct incorporation of Polis and the decentralized autonomous organization that supersedes and overrides and governs everything that will take place in Star Atlas in the future. It means that people that are governors, particularly over time as Polis is distributed more widely out to the community and is earned through participating within gameplay and participating in the DAO itself, and tying reward mechanisms and structures and incentives to people who are actively engaged and contributing in a positive format to the ecosystem overall. As that happens, and this is intentionally a slow process because we have a vision here that we want to deliver upon, and so we've kind of restricted access to that in the near term so that we could deliver the vision and deliver the product. But over time, the community will have greater and greater degree of control over what actually exists and what Star Atlas becomes. I'll leave with the point that, what we believe is that by fulfilling this promise and building in this fashion, it means that Star Atlas is not something that will live for 10 years or 20 years, which is, kind of a traditional life cycle for massively multiplayer online games. Call it the most successful ones, actually. But we believe that Star Atlas is something that will perpetually evolve, because people will be able to contribute not only from a development standpoint and a progression standpoint, but an ideological and sociological standpoint. And so Star Atlas is something that can actually live for thousands of years potentially as a kind of a new system that people can operate within and live within and actually derive monetary value from. So those are kind of the things that we're thinking about, the way that we're structuring and what we've outlined in the white paper and the economics paper. But obviously a lot to come here. So hopefully that answers your question.
I think you're stuck in mute, my friend.
Oh, sorry. You hear me now? Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was looking at the white paper, economics paper, and it looks like you'll get 50% of Polis for the foreseeable future. So do you plan to eventually sell some of that or something like that? I guess that's one point of wonderful project, wonderful vision, but I'd just like to hear a little bit on that.
Sure. I mean, just to clarify, it's 30% of the Polis token supply is what was allocated. That is really intended to be a team allocation managed at the corporate level initially. But yes, over time, that starts to get distributed out to the team. We have no immediate motivation to do that. And again, really the driving force there is we wanted to ensure that we had some autonomy over the DAO in the near term so that we could execute upon this vision. But there was some 24% that was already sold. That was between private sales and public sales in the token generation event. The remaining balance of that is allocated to emissions and rewards, whether that be through gameplay or actively participating in governance within the DAO. And that's, those are things that are coming up soon. As we mentioned, the Star Atlas DAO is one of the highest priority projects that we have as a team right now. So yes, the idea is absolutely to distribute tokens over time. From a corporate standpoint, not saying that we will sell them, but they would be distributed more widely as the team continues to grow and as we incorporate that into things like our long-term incentive plan. If Kelsey was up here, he would talk about total direct comp and the way that we, compensate employees, whether that be salary or short-term incentives, but also the long-term incentives that are accompanied with participating and contributing to the success of this company. And so, yes, over time it gets distributed and it's less concentrated with us, but it is concentrated with us by design today.
That's great. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Great question.
Yeah, thank you for the questions, friend. So yeah, Michael, I think it's a good moment to close and to redirect everyone to the Twitter Spaces because Ash is going to be hosting the after party, right, Ash?
Yes, yes, I am. I'm hosting the after party on Twitter Spaces, and it's actually up and live right now. We've been streaming the town hall onto Twitter as well. So hop on over and join us. We always have a great chat. Always a good time in our Twitter Spaces.
Yeah, they are always fun. So I really encourage everyone to join and to come chat with us. We'll digest the town hall and the information dropped there. So yeah, just go to Twitter right now, guys. Join because we are closing here. So Michael, thank you very much as always. Love the updates. Love your answers as well to the questions. And yeah, congrats to Benny and Squall for winning the ships in the random questions that we posted. Please send your wallet addresses to one of our moderators, and we will be sending them shortly.
RIP Ash's voice. Thanks for talking to so many people at the conference. Hopefully this weekend you get a chance to recover a little bit and I think Santi would tell you to drink some water. It's very important to stay hydrated. But I again, I apologize actually for the joke we played at the beginning, Santi. So it'd be
Yeah.
devastating loss without you. But thanks, Ash, for being up here with us. Thanks, Santi, and thanks everyone for listening in. We appreciate you all, and we hope you have a great Friday and a great weekend.
Yeah, have a great Friday, a great weekend. Remember to read the Atlas Star that is posted on announcement if you want to be updated on everything about the Star Atlas Metaverse. The guys did a great job. Dave, Matei, Jose are staying up late to write for us. So big shout out to them and big shout out to all the Star Atlas team for working really hard. So we're closing out. This was the Star Atlas Stonehall. Thank you, Michael. Thank you, Ash. And thanks everyone who joined today. And power to the people.
And stick it to the man.
See you.